Hello, it's E equals MC Hammer, team 15858, and I'm gonna tell you how we designed and the process of how we designed our shooter and our magazine. So this is our current magazine, and it's all 3D printed. So first, we needed to think of how we were going to set up our shooter. We either could do a series shooter where the motors and the wheels to launch it were right behind each other, or if they were next to each other. And we decided to go with next to each other because this motor would help launch it better, because it wouldn't be, there isn't a wall here to help guide it and causing more friction. So what we did is we first mounted it on a piece of Tetric C channel with the motor mounts, and then we used SolidWorks and designed the shooter to go around that C channel, because if we can't, it wouldn't be a good idea to 3D print the support that holds the shooter in place, because that'd be too much weight and it'd probably break over time. So we used the piece of aluminum C channel, and our 3D print consists of, our second model consists of 4 different pieces. We've got the right side of the shooter, the left side, and the top and the bottom middle pieces. And the reason why it's in 4 different pieces because the 3D printer wasn't quite big enough to print the whole thing at once. And we couldn't do split it in half because it wouldn't be structurally stable as we did in our very first model, which didn't work quite so good because, well, it didn't print good in the first place, and we made edits to it. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the magazine, which stores the rings. So this is our very first model, and what the premise here was is it's a top loading shooter in which the magazine's gravity fed, and they just sit in there into a stack. And then we have a slot in the back here in which a servo is mounted on the side, and a little piece of aluminum will just simply slide it out of this front hole in the front, and then it'll touch these wheels on the shooter and it'll just fly out. Now we just made this prototype, our first iteration, out of sheet steel, and then once we were done with that, we then moved to a 3D printed model, which is this bottom half, and it was essentially the same as this, except more refined this was, and we added a few extra features, like we added these little side gates on the side so that you could actually see how many rings were in the magazine. And then we also made a proper mount for the servo, and we made it more precise. All right, so now we have a close-up of the shooter working. So the first step is to get the motors going. So you press one of the triggers, and then you would simply press X and it would shoot it, which I don't know if you saw it, but there is the servo arm that flings the rings into the actual shooter, and then from there you can just keep shooting them. The mounting points for the magazine are these little L-shaped brackets right here that are included in the magazine. They just simply bolt into the back of the shooter just for simplicity of use. And so this whole magazine is connected to the shooter, and the shooter's connected to the C channel, which is connected to these pillars over here. But that's pretty much it for the shooter and magazine. I guess that's it.
Okay, you've got 20 seconds. You got 20 seconds.
Where do I go? Right here? Something like that.
Oh, nice.
Alright, let's go now to shoot.
Oh, okay. 5, 4,
For centuries, sports have played an integral part of our culture. Moving, collaborating, competing, celebrating. We rally around our athletes, lift them up, and admire their awe-inspiring moments and stories that give us hope. The nature of traditional sports is shifting, and we have the power to be forces for change and redefine the game. No matter whether our talents lie on the court, in the lab, or with a controller in hand, there's an athlete inside each and every one of us. Let's work together to champion every sport and every person that plays the game. It's time for us to revolutionize the way we play and move. It's time to be game changers.
3, 2, 1.
I'm not gonna pick up my controller this time. It's not gonna happen. Are you sure about that? I am pretty sure.
No.
Driver, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
It's the most exciting feeling I've ever felt.
Being a first alumni means that I have an entire world of connections.
It allows me to volunteer and give back to the community.
I think first can really prepare you to solve any number of the world's big problems. The skills that you're going to be learning can completely change the future.
We have a little robot made for FTC. Made it in the stables by the shining sea. Pieced it all together with just these tools. Working on it every night after school. Come on everybody, let's do the matrix jump, jump. It wasn't easy as you surely see. Designing and a building with only these. Making sure everything fit just right. Cutting and a drilling all through the night. Come on everybody, let's do the matrix jump, jump. We have a lot of challenges, it's plain to see. Global warming, air pollution, rising seas. Now it's up to us to help fix them all. Using all the skills that we learned this fall. Come on everybody, let's do the matrix jump.
They never expected the year would become what it was. People were confined to their homes. The world was full of sorrow, with lots of destruction and chaos. Small groups battled on 12 by 12 fields using their machines of science. Lines were crossed. Rings were flying. Wobble goals were cast over the walls. Then the legend, Excalibur, was born. With all his motors and programming, he pulled the sword, and forever ruled the battlegrounds.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. It's a FTC Meet 3 show. I missed it last week. I just got here. We're here at the Maker Effect Foundation where we've been every week. I just got here. I hope I'm here for the show. I missed dinner and maybe I'll get a snack during the meal, but we're pretty excited. The teams have made like all these amazing pieces of content. I mean, there are great videos. There's amazing robots. You know, always here, Barry Bonzak hanging out with us. We're really amped up. This is gonna be probably the best show. It also might be the worst show. I don't know. Mike Walker has been working super hard on all this amazing content. I mean, we've got the tuxes on. It's formal wear. We're really excited. I mean, it's going to be cool. Oh yeah, Bob's here. Hey, hi everybody. There he is right there. So if you have questions, submit. Bob, head referee from the state, he's going to answer some questions for you. I made it just in time for the show to start. I think everything's set up. Let's see. Yep, Mike's here. Hans is here. I hope, did I miss dinner? I think I did. We'll deal with that later. But we're really excited. The show's going to be amazing. We're here in Orlando, ready to start the show. Oh, look how giant my head is. Oh, I froze. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. All right. Well, without much further ado, I guess we'll get the show started, and we'll start with Hans right here. He'll talk to you. Have a good show, guys. We'll see you.
Thank you, Andrew. Really, the most important thing. So, actually, first, welcome all of my FTC Florida friends. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can't hear me?
Mute.
It is not muted.
Press the edits. Press the power button once.
Yeah, it's now on.
Stand by. There we go. Welcome to the live show.
All right. And I'm a technologist. What can I say? Hey, thanks for joining tonight. Say hello to all of my Florida FTC friends. The big news tonight, right? So if you remember when we did the first meet, we just had Andrew. But the duo was back together, and we had Barry and Andrew in meet number 2. The couple had a little problems, and so they weren't together. And then, I don't know, they're like a Hollywood couple. They split up again, and last time it was just Barry. But the best crew is here tonight for us. So again, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the teams for all of the videos that you submitted. I had a lot of fun reviewing them. However, we actually have something that's even more fun and that we're going to talk about tonight, which is the virtual pit concept. So up until now, the most fun I've had this season is absolutely watching all of your videos, but I apologize, the most fun is now participating in the virtual pits, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in a few seconds. So again, thanks for coming. And then the other thing I want to do is thank all of the people. There's a lot of people that have helped put these shows together, looking at all the videos, pulling out the clips. But the other important thing I want to highlight is Mike Walker. he spends countless hours, putting the video clips together, and I really appreciate it. And he's behind the scenes, so we thought we wanted to get him on camera, and more importantly, show that everybody here is dressed up for the occasion.
Haven't slept in days.
And then there's this rumor that he might be, out looking for a job. So if anybody knows of people that have got looking for his skills, let me know. So again, let's get into the show and let's get started with the first topic here. So one of the things that we wanted to highlight is you're going to see a lot of videos tonight about scoring in autonomous. And scoring in autonomous, there's really 4 ways for you to score. And we're going to show all 4 of these ways. And I believe Bob and Sid kind of hit on the topic of autonomous too in their Bob and Sid show tonight. So remember, the simplest way to score is just drive your robot forward and hit that launch line at 5 points. The other thing is the wobble goals, moving them to the target zone. You've got 2 wobble goals, so if you move, and it's 15 points each, so you can get a 30 points there if you move both wobble goals. The next thing that we've got up here is the rings into the tower goals. And really you've got your pre-loaded 3 rings, but you might also come back and try to pick up the rings that are positioned on the field. And you might be able to get 72 or even more points in that autonomous mode. And you're going to see some pretty incredible teams that have scored pretty significantly in autonomous. The other thing is, of course, the power shot. You've got up to 3 power shots that you can hit, and that's another 45 points. So just want to kind of highlight the ways that you can score in autonomous and make sure everybody understands that. All right, so let's go to the next topic and the virtual pit concept. So our next meet, February 22nd to the 28th is our next meet, and all leagues will be participating in that meet. And for those of you who aren't aware, we've started experimenting with a virtual pit, right? So Lauren up in the Aerospace Coast brought this up and did it first up there. This time we've had a number of teams in different leagues that have combined together to do the virtual pit concept. And let's kind of show you what that's really all about. It's really like you're doing, you're at the event and you're in the pits. So what happens is you will get an email from the organizer. It's a Zoom link, and you'll have to register, and you'll register your team number so that they know how many rooms to create. And then when you join the event, everybody joins into the main room. And then we'll do some quick announcements, explain the process, and then everybody can then move to their assigned team room. And as you can see here on the graphic down at the bottom of the Zoom meeting, there's this little breakout room. And you just select that and go to your room. And so all teams will start out in their own room, but then they can start jumping around between the different rooms, talking to different teams. And I have gotten fantastic feedback from a lot of teams. They've learned a lot. And then team 6323, the pink team, I am letting you know you need to participate in the next virtual pit because everybody wants to talk to you guys about that fantastic robot that you've got. So again, I encourage all teams to participate in the virtual meet concept next time, virtual pit concept. And the other thing too is, even if you don't have a working robot and you don't think you might not be able to participate, show up. For those of you who have been around long enough, teams show up at the event. Sometimes the robots aren't working. All the teams converge to help out and get the robot working. We can do that same thing. You can get tips and pointers. And again, this has been the most fun thing I've done all season. Myself, Kyle, Bob, Sid, a lot of the key volunteers across the state also participate. So let's get the job rolling. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Jason Rudolph, alumni of Team 168 from North Miami Beach Senior High School. I'm the owner and founder of Mobius Productions, where I work as a screens producer and a lighting director on large shows such as the Oscars and the Super Bowl halftime show, where I have won 3 Emmy Awards that I can only hold 2 at once. I don't think I'd be where I am today if First hadn't changed the game for me early on, teaching me how to take a large group of people and pull off a project under extreme stress and under a short timeline. So thank you for that, First.
So, I got some food. So Jason's, that's my brother. He's pretty cool. He's accomplished some cool stuff. He did the Super Bowl, but I got Hans's grandkids' last cereal bowl.
Oh my gosh. I'm in trouble.
So my bowl is clearly more important than some boring football game. So like he said, he was on Team 168. We had an interesting thing happen where a new high school was built. So I actually went to a different high school than he did at the same time. And so we were actually on competing FRC teams back in the day. And actually teams got together and we actually won the first ever UCF regional. So I'm in that picture. You can find me, probably not, but I've got long hair. I'm not in the center back, but I'm in the back. Jason's in there somewhere too. So that was pretty fun. My parents were involved in all that. And then, of course, we kept on volunteering, mentoring. He went off and started doing all these big shows, and we actually came back and we've been volunteering with headquarters on a national scale, helping produce Einstein and the finals for FTC. So we started doing that in 2014, and we've kept on doing it ever since, including the first time, there we go. That was Houston, the first time that we had FTC and FRC together. So I was producing the FTC field and he was producing the FRC field. And it's pretty fun. We get to work together and volunteer for these. There's a guy in a blue suit over there too. He's not that important.
The gold shoes say otherwise.
But yeah, so it's pretty amazing getting to work with my brother on these events, and he's done some amazing stuff. And a lot of First alumni out there are doing amazing things, and we hope to hear from more of them as we do these shows, just to highlight some of the cool things that are going on. So with that, let's continue on with the show. Barry, you want to join me? Sorry.
I made a friend.
Barry's got him.
We don't have fun doing these at all.
No. I did make a mess. I'm going to get in trouble. That's Makey, by the way. I don't know if he's a robot. So yeah.
There we go.
So Barry's here. So next we get to have your favorite segment of the show.
That's right. It's everybody's three favorite three-letter words.
This time we're going to plan to discuss the various scoring activities that you can have, how to achieve the scoring, including where the robot location is, the time of when the achievements are scored, and where the scoring elements need to be in order to be legally scored, and some other details. Start out with the auto period. Basically, there's kind of 5 ways that you can go to score. 1, you can navigate your robot into the launch line. You can shoot rings in the tower goal, high and low goal, or mid goals. You can either shoot or place rings in the low goal. And you can shoot rings at the power shot targets. And lastly, you can deliver the wobble goals into the target zone that's been designated during the randomization of the field. Sid, why don't you describe when the scoring achievements are scored and where the scoring elements and the robots need to be to achieve these scoring?
For the first point, navigating to the launch line, the robot has to be in the launch line at the end of the period. At the end of the period is signified by the long buzzer, 1 second long buzzer. At the end of the buzzer, you have to have been in the launch line, meaning to say that robot has to cut some part of the white tape. The next thing will be into the shooting in the tower goal. The high and mid has to be completely in the launch zone, completely in the launch zone. And remember, the launch line is part of the launch zone. The rings are scored live, meaning to say it is scored as they're shot inside the target. In order to be scored, they have to stay inside the goal. If they ricochet off or briefly come outside and they fall outside, they're not scored. And coming to the low goal can be shot from anywhere in the field, or they can be actually literally placed into the goal by the robots by driving up to the goal and delivering it into the low goal. The power shot targets also follow the same rule as the mid and high goals. When you have to shoot the power shot targets, and whether in the autonomous or the end game, they have to be completely in the launch zone. And the wobble goals have to be completely in the designated target zone for it to score the points. And the scores are recorded at the end of autonomous period.
One thing, remember that rings that launched before the end of the period and are still in flight and maybe score a power shot target or into the mid goal will count as scored, assuming they meet all the other legal requirements. Basically, driver controlled, you've got two main tasks, basically either shooting in the launch zone into the higher mid goal or placing or shooting goals into the low zone. Again, you got to remember to stay into the launch zone to do that. And also, if the ring has to stay in a tower goal, if it does bounce in and bounce out, it does not get counted as scored. Also, you got to make sure that in order for the wobble goals to be eligible for the end game scoring achievement, they have to be moved out of the launch zone during either the autonomous or driver controlled period. And one last thing, the human player needs to remember to reset the power shot target should they have been scored at autonomous to prepare for endgame. Endgame, you got 4 ways to score. You can continue to score the rings in a tower goal in either of the high, mid, or low, just like you would in a driver control period. You can score the power shot goals, again, just like an autonomous, same setup goes there. One additional thing you can do is place rings on the wobble goals while the wobble goals are still in the field of play, not in the drop zone. And lastly, you can deliver the wobble goals, both of them, to either be in the start line. Again, as you said, it's got to be some part of it covering the tape. And lastly, you can put them into the drop zone by putting them over the wall that faces what would consider to be the audience in this thing.
Yeah, especially in the end game, the wobble goals scores are recorded at the end of the match period for both scoring achievements. The wobble goals definitely have to start outside the launch zone, meaning beyond the wipe tape towards the goal, or in a target zone prior to the start of the end game. That means during the driver control, if you have one that's somehow moved out, you have to bring it back in or outside the launch zone, and then you get to score those points. Any part of the wobble goal to be in the start line. There are 2 ways. One is the drop zone. One is the start line. The wobble goal has to break the plane of the start line where your robot initially started from. So to get points, it has to just break the plane of that, or it has to be dropped in the drop zone. And even this is scored after the period ends, at the end of the period, meaning to say everything has come to rest. These are some of the scoring achievement recaps. One thing I would like to emphasize, especially with the power shot targets, both autonomous and the end game, it has to be moved with the ring. Meaning to say, if it's off the frame, you'll get the points counted, but there'll be a penalty assessed if it is not directly scored with a ring.
As usual, read the rules, read the forums. If you have questions, ask your head referee. Also for some guidance as well. Hopefully when you're doing a virtual pit, you'll have a chance to talk to your league head referee to do that. So in the meantime, stay safe. We hope to see all of you soon. Good to see you again, Sid. Hope to see you soon. Good night and good luck to all.
Good night and good luck all. Be safe, be healthy and safe.
All right, fantastic. We've got some more discussion on autonomous mode and your favorite programming instructor mentor. It's Mr. AJ.
Hi everyone, AJ here with a tech tip for teams. For a few years now, we've been working to create a transmitter that would not only supply inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal gram meters. It's called the turbo encabulator. The important thing to know is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of fluxes, it is produced by the modial interaction of magnetoreluctance. The old version had a base plate of pre-famulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing so that the 2 spurvings were in a direct line with the panometric fan. Now, it has 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes fitted to the lunar wane shaft, effectively preventing side fumbling. The Turbo Encabulator is available now, and it's being used successfully by a number of teams. To learn more, search for the Turbo Encabulator wherever you get your robotics parts.
I get mine. And you guys
man.
thought AJ didn't have a sense of humor. I knew it all along.
AJ told a joke.
AJ
That's
tells
great.
Lots of jokes. You just have to be close to him to hear them.
All right, let's move on to some league rankings.
Yeah, you guys want to see that, right? I know I do.
First, league rankings. We got a couple of new teams that are joining onto the scoreboard. Welcome here to Team 8798 and 9214. The first time they are appearing up on the scoreboard. So great to have more of these one-league teams.
Looks like 8797 actually came in pretty hot. I mean, they bumped Middleburg down. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Pretty,
and they
hit the
got
ground running.
Team 10168 holding on to that top spot. So hopefully we can keep having more one-clay league teams hopping onto the scoreboard as our season goes on.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right, moving on to the Tesla League.
Sorry. Here, after that wonderful video there from Hazmat Explosives. All right, coming crawling up. Looks like a lot of movement in the rankings there, with Robo Knight still sitting strong up there in first place.
Yeah, no change in the first two positions. But then we got Team 16249 moving up to third place. Great job to Team Excalibur.
Yeah, doing a really great job. And I think that we're ready to move on to the next league, which is going to be the...
Before we do, I do want to shout out to Team 5070 Nuts. Welcome to the scoreboard. It's great to have you guys join us this season.
I missed that too.
Yep, the brand new team to join us. All right, go ahead, Andrew.
Awesome. All right, moving on to the Robot League coming to us from Tampa.
Hi, Robot League. I'm Marissa. I'm usually a referee, but right now I'm in AmeriCorps First Vista serving at Amrock Fab Lab. I miss being at competition. I wish I could see you guys competing, learn about your robots and all that you did this season. And even though we can't have a normal robot season this year, you guys are still proving that you're amazing by showing that nothing is going to stop you from learning, creating, programming, competing. You didn't even stop helping others. I'm proud of you. And I hope you all take a moment to look back on what you've done this year and be proud of yourselves. I can't wait to see you on the field again.
All right. Thank you, Marissa, our Vista over there in the Tampa area. Let's take a look at these Robot League rankings. Lots of teams moving up. And there you go.
Neutrino's still sitting strong at the top. You know, they've been solid through the whole season and still maintaining that position.
Yeah, good job to all the teams there in the top three, holding on to their positions. But we got Infinity Gear, Team 14850, moving up to fourth ranking with their high score of 165 there. Great job. Also moving up, we got the Hadron Knights and In Gear. Great job to all those teams in the Robot League.
Great job for the Robot League. I think we're ready to move on. Coming up to now the Frozen League.
The Frozen.
I don't know. It's completely frozen up here.
Yeah, it's frozen up on the screen, but maybe we'll continue on.
3, 2, 1.
I think it was one of the concepts.
Object detection.
I think that would be the one. And look, you are now seeing what the camera is seeing. And sample at that point. Now that wasn't what we were planning on doing.
So it's saying quad right now.
It's saying quad right now?
Steve Kowski here, head of TBTA and a referee for the Gulf Coast Robotics League. Hopefully you're doing extremely well this year. You're doing fantastic as far as I can tell. I've been watching these videos on the celebrations. Hang in there. You're doing great. We're all behind you. You definitely miss being in person at these events, and cannot wait to see what you guys have this coming meet, and cannot wait to be back live in person.
Hey, googly-eyed Dan. Oh my gosh, I have been having so much fun watching the state wrap-ups, the state celebrations, and seeing all the great robots there. I am just thrilled to be able to do that. It kind of feels like the old days of when the entire state went to one meet. And it kind of helps really combine all of those, how that always felt when we had such a great camaraderie between all the teams. What a great time. And, you know, I really do miss our league level competitions, but we'll get there next year, I am sure. So hang in there, keep doing it, keep putting videos out, because they're great, and I'm enjoying this about as much as I can. And I'm truly begging the schools to allow me to show up and go play with high school robots again. So good luck, enjoy yourself, play hard, GP all the way, and we'll see you later.
Googly-eyed Dink.
From the dank Gulf Coast. Oh man, fantastic team 38-39, big mover up 3 places, as well as team 17-015 has moved up as well. Look at all these teams moving up.
And Gulf Coast League is always like one of the most competitive in the state. So like, it's no surprise that we're seeing this changes and that top 4. I mean, those teams can win the world championship in the past, so it's not surprising.
Yeah, top 3 teams hold on, and then we got team 3101 Boombots with a new high score and holding on to the top of the rankings there. So great job, team Boombots.
414 points. I think that's the high score in the world now. It is, Hans says. That's awesome. Well, we're still frozen.
Still
eating my Lucky Charms.
Yeah, still looking at my notes. Hey, there you go. Hey, hold on, let's just make that same phrase.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm not looking at any notes.
A podcast.
Now we're using a cell phone.
Yeah.
We were just a thumbnail for a while. That's all we had. All right. Well, after we got through that glitch, I guess.
I have no clue what league we're on.
We're now moving on to a new block for a Q&A. So ask your questions to half of the Bob and Sid shows here, answering questions
live. We
live.
didn't chance for microphones, so maybe we should go to Space Coast and then come back to that.
Yeah, let's go check out some Space Coast. We'll come back.
So Space Coast League, here we go.
Oh, power shot.
Power shot. That's 15 points. Yeah, that's over. Navigation.
Hi everyone, it's Aryan from Zip Ties again, and here's our League Me 3 robot. So the changes we made haven't been very big changes, but they're really important changes. For one, we changed the way our intake works. In the beginning, we added a piece of thin Lexan in the bottom of it to stop it from curving up, and we recently added this big beam, so when we try to go over a stack of rings, one ring will go and the other ring will be pushed out. The second big change we did was we changed our outtake. It looks similar, but we actually pushed the ring out, we actually pushed the ramp out, and we supported the binder and the folder better just to allow a better shooting way. We also added 2 sidewalls, one here and one here, which allow for if any rings try to come and enter our robot from the sides and go over our rings, we don't have to deal with that. Also, we also have some real guards here, and there should be one here. And the last change we made to our robot was actually in the back. We've changed out we decided to use low side instead of the left hand we had, because when we mounted the left hand, we actually had 2 screws sticking out of the back, which altered our alignment. So having a flat sheet of metal will allow for a better alignment. Hope you guys all had a great League Meet 3, and good luck for League Meet 4. And thank you so much to Team Uplift for donating us their belt. Unfortunately, this meet, our back left wheel had a belt issue, and we contacted Uplift, and they made our League Meet 3 so much easier and actually successful this League Meet. So once again, thank you to Uplift, and I hope all the teams have a good next season. Competition. Meet. Next meet. Thank you.
3, 2, 1.
I can get that. Options.
Oh, that's fantastic there. Radio actually cut out mid-match, but they reset it and kept going. Great job there to all those, the pink team and all the other Space Coast teams. Big mover, Team 7592 moves up 4 spaces. Good job, Roarbots. They're now up to the 4th rank. You also got Improv Robotics, 14989 moving up. They're from Melbourne, as well as Gears of Other Dimensions, now sporting a 250 ranking points with a 34-point high score. They're at number 13. So great job to all the teams in the Space Coast League. Let's move on to our question and answer with half of Bob and Sid. This is the Bob portion of Bob and Sid. So welcome, buddy. I gotta sit closer. I'm too far. Okay, got a shot. All right, so we got a couple of questions that have been popping up in chat. What do we got?
Well, someone had asked, and a couple teams asked me this in a couple of the virtual pits that I talked about. The wobble goals, they're picking them up, and the end cap is coming off. And they've been asking about, is that penalties? Do they get to replay the match? So there was some talk in the referee community, and basically for a remote event, since the teams are providing the elements, it's kind of a little bit on them. So it's neither a penalty against you for field damage, nor is it a cause to be able to replay the match. We do need to maybe send some stuff to Andy Mark to find out if there's a way to have that cap hold on better. You might want to check that. Maybe the person who's setting up the field should push it on and make sure it's tight. Do that. You know, I don't know. I haven't seen anything else about that, but that's from at least a referee perspective, is you don't call a penalty on yourself, and you do not have the opportunity to replay your match to do that. So that was there. I guess I haven't heard any of those other questions, any about the content that Sid and I did, about the scoring and stuff. You know, remember when you score the achievement, where you need to be, the robot, where the field elements or scoring elements need to be, is important to do that. I watched all your videos. There's been a lot of good content, doing a lot of good things. Haven't seen anything real drastic. Everybody seems to be doing real well and looks good. So, you know, keep up the good work, and please keep the questions coming. I know you doing this on your own, but read the forums, read the rules again. A recent thing came about a week and a half ago for the updates. Nothing real drastic, but, you know, keep reading those and do that. So I don't know if there's any other questions, Hans, from the...
I do not see any new questions.
Okay, well, keep them coming. I'll try to answer them in the chat while they're doing the rest of the rankings and everything else is going on. So great to see everyone. Hope to see everybody in person real soon.
All right. Thank you, Bob and.
Okay.
Hello, Northeast Florida FTC teams. On behalf of the Renaissance Jacks leadership, I just want to say that we are so, so proud of you for taking on the ultimate goal season during such a challenging year. It's only been 3 meets, but we've already seen you guys making incredible progress and achievements. And just last meet, we saw the Crazy Cat Ladies and the Swamp Bots receive awards for their video submissions. Make sure all of you are turning in videos, because I can't wait to see who will be next. Now, I can't go this whole time without saying a special shout out to 5 of our currently participating teams, because they're rookies this year. And that's the Mechanical Mermaids, the Beach Boys, FPC Bulldogs Robotics, and our final 2, who are recent graduates of the first LEGO League Challenge program, Men in Black Jacks and the Shiva Automatrons. Welcome to the next level, you guys. And I know that some of our teams have been doing socially distant demos at local schools. Please send us your videos and pictures, because we want to make sure we highlight each and every one of our teams this season. Now, sadly, I can't give a shout out to everybody. I don't have time, but Lolita and I are so, so proud of you guys. We can't wait to see what you bring to Meet 4, and we'll see you there.
league rankings, and wonderful message there from Crystal. She's awesome.
Yep.
That's super cool stuff. And here we go. Rolling to the top. Oh, a new team, Saturn popping in and number 4. Look at that. Oh, and a change at the top. You see that, Barry?
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Team 17, 593, now has a high score of 166 points and 1,280.
Look at what the Crazy Cat Lady's high score is. 165.
165. Oh, it is so close to the top of the Northeast League.
One logo score, right? That's all it is. But pretty amazing there. Ranking points are separated enough, but that's the most blue arrows I think we've seen.
Yeah, welcome to the new teams. We did mention Saturn. Saturn has always been one of the fantastic teams there in Jacksonville, but also welcome to the team from Hilliard. We got the Flash Drives, Team
11892, sorry.
That's all right, you go ahead.
I see
go
you
ahead.
puking and jiving around the tripod. B-cam is in the way.
So this is another team, if they'd submitted a video, would have been the Never Give Up Award, because they had to manually submit the scores to me.
So if you didn't hear that, the Flash Drives...
They had COVID issues at their school, and their coaches have shifted.
Wow, pretty amazing. As you can see, the lone team from Hilliard County, I guess it's the town, but pretty amazing there, Northeast Florida, way to stick through it.
Yeah, very good. We got three other tems that we're moving up there, including... Hey, the camera's back. Welcome back, camera. All right.
But we lost the teleprompter thing.
So let's hop over to the next league.
I don't know what's next.
Hello, Northeast.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Diaz, and I'm the co-captain of Team 14431 Pyrites, and today I'm going to tell you about our robot. First, I'm going to talk to you about our intake and indexing system. We have 2 sets of compliant wheel rollers, one powered by a never rest motor and one powered by a continuous servo. It can actuate down with this winch servo back here. It brings the rings up into our indexing system. Our indexing system is made up of another series of wheels, and it is powered by these 2 core hex motors. It brings them up into this chamber, and it has 4 color distance sensors beneath it so that it can sense when there's rings in the chamber to avoid jamming. So now I'm going to tell you about the new and improved component of our robot. This was our old wobble mechanism. It was on a linear slide, it was a claw design, kind of bulky, and it required a good bit of precision when we were grabbing the wobble goal. But over the years, I've learned that in FTC, you have to make modular designs so you can easily detach them and replace them when you have evolutions of your robot. So now we have this V-shaped design so you can come from different angles to grab it. It's on these 2 servos, one to bring it down and one to grab it. And it's able to grab the wobble goal like this and store it easily. Now we have our drivetrain. We use Go Builder Mechanism wheels. We have it run by 4 orbital 20s that are inside of our frame. And we run our drivetrain with Roadrunner so we can easily maneuver around the field, especially on autonomous. Back here, we have our camera, which we use TensorFlow and autonomous so we are able to see the rings and navigate correctly. And then we have our flywheel shooter up here, and we have this servo that keeps the chamber open or closed for when we're ready to shoot.
So this is our autonomous program. First it'll grab the wobble goal up there. Right now it's scanned that ring. It saw 1 ring. Now it's going to go ahead and shoot. It places the wobble goal down momentarily. It shoots the 3 into the top goal. It saw only 1 ring, so it places it in zone B. It goes back and it grabs that same ring that it just scanned, and it goes for a power shot. Now it's going to go in for the second wobble goal. It grabs it, and it brings it over to zone B as well. Then it goes ahead and parks on the line.
Thanks for watching. Good luck, teams, and thank you, volunteers.
Hi guys, my name's Kate and I live down here in South Florida, and I just wanted to say you guys are doing such an incredible job this season. I am constantly impressed with all the videos of matches or practices that I get to see you guys put together. You're coming up with some really creative stuff to not only pick up those wobble goals, but launch those rings into the goals. Super proud of what you guys have accomplished, and I can't wait to see how much you improve all the way through April. Thanks for being first game changers.
South Florida League rankings. That was some amazing video right there from
Pyrites.
Pyrites, yeah. The programming on that, like as a person who does mechanical stuff, when you see like that autonomous mode, I mean the mechanics on that was just really cool. But anyways, rankings coming up. Sorry about that. It was a cool video.
Yep, so got a lot of movement here. 4 teams that are moving upward, including we got Maps and Cyber Knights. We got the Eaglebotics Navy, Wildcats Gen 3, and Rev Force all moving upwards. Rev Force moving up to the 3rd place spot, while B3 and Ryzen Ninjas are holding on to number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, a lot of teams submitting into this league. I think it's probably one of the bigger leagues that's been putting scoring in. It's the biggest, yeah.
Yeah, it takes us 2 slides.
It takes 2 slides to cover South Florida. It makes sense. It's the biggest population in the state. But really great job. Anything else you want to talk about with them, Bear? I don't think that's covered it, right?
Nope, just the high scores there. Doing a great job.
Yes, he's doing awesome. And so that leaves us with just one league left to go, and that's the Aero Coast League. So let's check in on them and see how they're doing this week. And there you go, Aero Coast winning the ultimate award this year. Pretty entertaining video. Our mics were shut, but we were all laughing, having a good time. But here we go with the rankings. Looks like we've got a new team there in 5th place, Robo Hana from Inlet Beach, punching their card in at 5th place. Meanwhile, there in the top, we've got the Short Circuits moving up into 2nd place, which is always fun to see, a little tissel and tassel back there, back and forth. And of course, Tech Turtles are still holding up strong there in the 1st place. So Aero Coast doing really strong. And I've got here in the studio with me now the fearless leader of the state.
Yay, Hans.
Yay,
Hey,
Hans.
Thanks again for joining. I got my notes here so I don't forget anything.
This is delicious.
And I'm going to sick my grandson on you.
Yeah.
He'll find you, and he's going to be very upset. So let's do a quick review of the award winners, just to make sure you didn't miss it. Oh, great! He's even got slides.
I made
slides. You are awesome.
Well, you all were eating burritos. I mean, no, I was late. Sorry, I was late.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because
that's my story.
I didn't get to eat my chimichanga.
So our ultimate award winner. So the other thing you'll notice here is we have 2 repeat awards from last time, and if you recall, last time we also said we're just going to make these awards up. So it's up to you guys to create new categories.
Not the Oscars.
Yeah, this time we had 3 new award categories. So the ultimate award winner Team 14191, Galactic Squirrels. Pretty cute video at the end. I could not stop laughing after watching that video.
I tell Mike to not show me the video so he can watch them live here, and it's hilarious.
And our runner-up was 14431 Pyrites.
No, I guess I didn't have that.
You forgot to make the graphic.
It wasn't in the email.
All right. So let's go to the next award, which was the what do you got up next? Yeah, Power Shot Wizards.
Oh, no.
So as you can tell, we've practiced this show many times. So our Power Shot Wizards were 516 Gears of Fire, right? If you remember that video, they hit 3 Power Shot targets in autonomous. And then our runner-up is 4228 Gears of Other Dimension. And so the winners here, just a reminder, you will get an email from me with your e-gift card. Please reply to confirm you get it.
You can pay them bills, yo.
So I don't, doesn't go to waste. All right, let's go to the next award. Oh, of course, the Never Give Up Award, and that goes to Team 14226. Ironic, they kept at it. If you saw that video, they'd been working on trying to use the vision capability of their robot for 2 years, and they were successfully scored the wobble goal in autonomous. The runner-up from Space Coast 6323, you may not have noticed it in the video, but there was about 15 seconds during teleop where they dropped, reconnected, and kept going, and still scored 366
I think what was
points.
amazing about that is how collected the kids were.
Yep, didn't bother them at all.
They just but boom, and then they were back up and running. I mean, they know that machine. It's obvious they know the machine. They're scoring so well, but yeah.
All right, next award.
Put it back up. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. They always have words. That's good. All right, so Musical Design Award, right? I would say there was probably 3 or 4 videos that I saw that they put their robot design to music, and I really enjoyed those. So that's a new award this time. So it goes to Team 9277 Hazmat Robotics. It was awesome. Our runner-up from South Florida, Team 13233 Cyber Knights.
By the way, like Hans said, there's no judge's guide on this. We're just having fun and picking whatever we like. So don't try to predict what we like.
So again, your opportunity to define the category
That's
for
right.
us. Yeah. All right, how my bot works. So this is a repeat from last time. No guarantee we'll do it again next time, but that video from Pyrites was fantastic. 14431. You will get a $50 gift card. Our runner-up is Team 16290 Zip Ties. And I believe that is it, right? All right, our last award.
Well, we got to cut to the studio. Wait for it. Did you freeze? Did it break?
I don't.
All right, we're trying to get
a new feature to put these up because it was last second.
All right, we're trying
Hey, Mike! Wrong
I'm
camera.
now your host. Hi. Bye.
Just hijacked the show!
Our random draw winner of all the teams that submitted video.
Show it up to the camera.
Okay. It doesn't smell bad. I'm just making a weird face. 18684 spammers. I'm coming in. I'm wired in. Focus. Hey-oh! Oh, good thing I cleaned my fingernails, not.
Just in case you guys were wondering, we're trying a lot of new equipment this time.
We have a lot.
All right, so last thing of the evening, just want to go back to the virtual pit concept because I know there was a number of questions about that. I talked about the dates of when each league was going to do it. The important thing is think about making sure that each of your students is in a different location, right, on a different computer. Because if you're all in the same room, you can't shift back and forth between the virtual rooms. It's okay if you're in the same house, but make sure you've got multiple computers. Also, try to make sure that one of your students has the robot, and that student should stay in your team room. Okay, so that they can be there to answer questions.
And if you guys aren't allowed to take your robot out, I mean, have some pictures of your robot and stuff like that, or video clips, because remember you can share your screen and do all that.
Some teams have used just the design tools to show their robot, but again, make sure you have something that you can talk. And then the other thing too, if you've got questions, make sure you come prepared to ask questions to get help from other teams. Plus, people like myself and Bob and Kyle and AJ are roaming around to different rooms and can help answer questions too. So again, this is a lot of fun. Please, teams, encourage everybody to participate in the virtual pit starting the week of February 22nd. And that is it for us.
That's it.
Thank
We
you,
made
everybody.
it.
Good night.
Yay, we made
and
it.
We'll see you in a few weeks.
The crowd goes crazy.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor. They are a sponsor.